So the thing is, tomorrow will be a day like many others. No school, I'll be home, and I don't have anything planned with anyone. No adventures, no activities, just me at home, trying to get as much studying, bullet journaling, and editing done as possible. Now, it's always great to be productive, but as soon as tomorrow's over, I feel like it'll be lost in a sea of 10,000 other days that together make up my life, and maybe I won't ever think of that day again. And so today, I am actually deciding that I don't want tomorrow to be like that. I want to do something that I've never done before, so that I will be able to look back at that day and think, yes, I did something that day. I grew as a human being that day. That day was special, for whatever reason that may be. And then I looked down and I saw my drone there, my drone that had been sitting there for 2 months without being touched, because I guess I never really thought I had the opportunity to fly it. And right that moment, I looked down at that thing and I decided that tomorrow I was gonna get up early in the morning and go for a hike in order to hopefully find an ideal drone flying location and finally, after 2 months, just fly that thing again. My drone, my camera, and I, we would go on an adventure. And so I woke up before the sun the next morning, and suddenly these thoughts started racing through my head. On a normal day, I would have let these thoughts become logical excuses and I would have stayed at home, doing what I already know. But today was special. I was not going to let these thoughts stop me, and I forced myself to go because I had promised myself the day before that I was going to do this. And so I walked and walked and walked and walked. And at some point it started snowing. It really started snowing. But I still ended up walking really far, much further than I had expected, because I actually enjoyed it. It was such a peaceful thing to be walking through nature all alone, hearing nothing but the howling of the wind and the rustling of the trees covered in snow. It made me feel whole in a way. And then when I finally got to this place that looked like a great location to fly my drone, it was already snowing way too much, and I really didn't want to risk it. And so there I was, on top of a hill, all by myself, getting covered in snow, not being able to do what I actually came up here for. And I could have been really disappointed about this, but instead I decided to enjoy this little trip for what it was instead of what it should have been and what it hadn't been. Because it was a beautiful opportunity for me to be in nature. To be by myself, to think and to feel alive. And the thing is, I am coming to learn that exploring and adventuring is always worth it, no matter what. You might not feel like it at all when you're sitting in your warm, comfortable home, and you might not even feel like continuing once you're walking up that hill. But in the end, the view is always worth it. The adventure is always worth it. Even if your negative expectations become reality, the experience is always worth it. You can never know what something is going to be like until you actually do it. We're humans, and so we imagine things. We imagine how that something will be, and if we don't like these images, we won't do that something. We make assumptions. We assume that our imagination is the truth, and that's what usually stops us. We can't let go of these assumptions, but we have to ignore them in order to be able to step out of our comfort zone and live life, because we naturally tend to prefer what is comfortable to us. But what is comfortable is not going to make tomorrow special.